Yes. Thank you. Okay. So the motive behind starting with this, conducting this session is to take you from this category 1 to category 2. And if you have the conceptual understanding and if you try to correlate the things with your practical experiences, then I'm sure that you will enjoy studying physics. So without spending much time, let us proceed with the next part of this guidance session. Let me introduce myself to you. I am Mrs. Yogita Patil. I am the physics teacher of 12th F class. Some of you might be already knowing me. There is some issue with my laptop camera, so I'm not able to switch on my video. But all of you are, I'm sure you are able to see the slides which I have prepared here. Okay, so let us proceed with the next slide. So as you all are aware of, I presume that all of you have at least gone through the physics textbook. So I presume that all of you are aware of what is the content of your 12th standard physics syllabus. So here is this slide which will give you the chapter wise weightage, marks weightage allotted to each chapter. So as you all are aware of, there are 16 chapters included in your syllabus, and here is the mark weightage allotted to each chapter. As you can see, this column, the second last column is for marks without option, and the last column is for marks with option. So if you go through the entire list of chapters, you can see that by and large, the weightage allotted to each chapter is either of 4 marks or 5 marks. So there is not much difference. Now, depending upon what is the content covered in that particular chapter, you can decide yourself that how much time you want to spend for preparing that particular chapter and how comfortable you are with the concepts which are included in that particular chapter. So as you can see, the entire content is divided roughly into 4 parts: mechanics and properties of matter, then heat, then light, then electromagnetism, and modern physics. Okay, so depending on which part you are more comfortable with, you can prepare it 100%, and other part, 1 or 2 topics, if you feel like they are very tough for you to understand, so maybe 1 or 2 topics only you can keep for skip them or keep it for option. But I would suggest that at least each chapter you should go through it, and important points, as I go further in my presentation, I'll be showing you some slides which will cover the key points for quick revision. So at least those points you should study, right? So this is about the chapter wise distribution allotted, marks distribution allotted to each chapter. And depending on that weightage allotted, you decide how much time you want to spend for preparation of that particular chapter. Now let us proceed with the next slide, which will explain you about the paper pattern. So some of you might be aware of that your final theory exam, the question paper is of 70 marks, and it consists of 4 sections. Section A, as you can see, is a compulsory section which consists of 2 questions. First question is MCQ type, 10 MCQs, and second question is very short answer type questions, which each question will be allotted 1 mark, so that 8 questions for 8 marks. So as you can see, section A, which is MCQ plus very short answer type questions, the weightage allotted is 10 plus 8, that is 18 marks. All are compulsory. As you move to section B, it consists of questions of 2 marks each. You will be given 12 questions. each of 2 marks, out of which you will have to attempt any 8. So that the weightage allotted to section B is 8 into 2, that is 16 marks. Now moving to section C, you will be given 12 questions, each of 3 marks, and out of those 12 given, you will have to attempt any 8 questions. So the weightage allotted to section C is 8 into 3, that is 24 marks, and section D, you will be given 5 questions. These are long answer type questions. 5 questions will be given to you, each of 4 marks, out of which you will have to attempt any 3. Now here what you should remember that this section D, each question will consist of 2 parts, part A and part B. So each question from this section D, which is of 4 marks, it will be divided into 2 parts. Part A will be for 2 marks and part B will be for 2 marks. But note here that in this section D, out of given 5, you have to attempt any 3. Now it's a common practice. What do students do? They try to solve section part A of one question if they know it very well, and then they think that I'll go for part B from some other question, which is not allowed. So part A and part B you will have to attempt from the same question. So you don't have a choice to pick up part A from any question and part B from any question. The choice is only for out of those given 5, you will have to pick up any 3. But for those 3 questions, you will have to solve part A and part B from the same question. Also, there is another instruction when you solve section A, that is MCQ, that while writing the answers for MCQ, sometimes students, what do they do? If there are 10 MCQs, suppose MCQ number 1, and the correct option is say C, out of given A, B, C, D, suppose the correct answer is C. So students, what do? They write question 1 and just answer option C. But it is a board rule that when you write the answer for MCQ, along with the correct option, you should write the correct answer statement also. If you don't write the answer statement, if you just write question number 1, MCQ 1, correct answer say C, MCQ 2, correct answer D, MCQ 3, correct answer A, and so on, then you will not be given the weightage. So it is compulsory for you to, along with the correct option, you must write the correct answer statement also. You don't need to write the question statement, but along with the correct option, you must write the correct answer statement also. Okay. So these are some general instructions regarding your question paper and your question paper pattern. Section A, B, C, and D. Each section you should solve on separate page. This is another general instruction, because many times what students do, they start the next section on the same page, but it is always a good practice to solve the questions section wise. Don't do that section A, I'll do 3 MCQs here on one page, and then again on some other page I'll solve other MCQs. Or section B, 3 questions attempted first, and then section C, another 4 I attempt, and then again go for section B. Please don't do that. Section wise, the internal sequence you may change, but solve your question paper section wise. Even the section sequence you may change. If you want, you may start with section B, section C, section D, and then go for section A. But for a particular section, you should attempt all the questions in continuation, right? So this is about the question paper pattern and the general instructions while solving your question paper. Now let us move to the next slide. Okay, before going for the next slide, again, let me tell you about the theory questions and numericals also. Many times when students are asked, how do you feel studying physics? Many of you are scared of numericals. So let me give you the split of theory questions and numericals also, as it is shown in this slide. So section A, out of 10 MCQs, 7 will be theory based MCQs, 3 will be numericals. Similarly, 8 VSA, very short answer type questions, 6 theory and 2 numericals. So if you look at section A, which is of 18 marks, there are 13 theory based questions and 5 numericals. Similarly, if you go for section B, with option, there are 12 questions given to you. So out of those 12, there are 7 theory questions and 5 numericals. So for section A, all are compulsory, so you don't have any choice, but you need to go for the numerical based MCQs and VSA. But as you look at section B, split of theory and numericals, if somebody is very good at numericals, he or she can pick up all the 5 numericals, because you have to attempt any 8. And then only 3 theory questions he or she can pick up. If somebody is scared of doing numericals, then you can attempt all the 7 theory 2 marks questions, and in that case you will need to attempt only 1 numerical of 2 marks. Same is the case with section C. So again, that is an individual's choice, which questions I need to pick up, whether I want to go for theory questions or whether I want to go for numericals. That you will have to take a decision individually, right? Similarly, for section D, if you see the theory and numerical split up, as I have already told you, that section D, it consists of 5 questions, each of 4 marks, and each sub question has this split, part A and part B. So there also, in those 5 given questions, 3 questions will have part A of theory and part B of numericals. So here also you have the individual choice, whether you want to pick up a question with theory and numerical, or the other 2 questions will be totally theory and theory. So that call you will have to take individually. Now here I would suggest that, as you all are aware of, the time allotted for your theory exam is of 3 hours, that is 180 minutes. But you are given the question paper 10 minutes before the actual time starts. So that 10 minutes time which is given to you to read the question paper, that you can use to make a choice for this section B, section C and section D. So what I would suggest, that 10 minutes time you should spend to decide which 8 questions from section B you are going to solve, which 8 questions from section C you are going to solve, and which 3 you are going to pick up from section D. That 10 minutes time, I would suggest that you don't read the section A. Why? Because anyway, section A is a compulsory section for you. So you don't have to make any decision there. So that is why this suggestion is there, that the 10 minutes time which is given to you to read the question paper, that you can spend to make a choice what is to be attempted from section B, C and D. And once you have make up your mind, then at 11 o'clock, as you all are aware of, the board exam timings are 11 to 2. So exactly at 11 o'clock, you can start solving the questions of your choice, which you have already made. Fine. So these are the tips about how to make a choice for the questions which are to be selected. Now let us move to the next slide. Again, this will be a short review of paper pattern. So as you can see, that weightage to types of question. Section A, MCQ and VSA, very short answer type, each is of 1 mark. So 10 MCQs and 8 very short answer type questions. So total is of 18 marks. As you can see, the SA1, that is short answer type 1. This is your section B, where you will be given 12 questions of 2 marks each. So with option, The weightage allotted is 24 marks, out of which you will have to pick up any 8 for 16 marks. Similarly, as you can see, the next row, which is of short answer type 2, that is section C of your question paper, which is of 3 marks question. You will be given 12 questions. So total is of 36 marks, out of which you will have to pick up any 8 for 24 marks. And the last row of this table, as you can see, long answer questions. This is section D. You will be given 5 questions, each of 4 marks. So that total is of 20 marks, out of which you will have to pick up any 3 of 4 into 3, that is 12 marks. So if you see the question paper, the total question paper, the entire question paper with marks with option is of 98 marks, out of which you have to attempt 70 marks questions. Fine. Now let us go to the next slide. This slide explains you about the difficulty level of questions. Here, I would like to relieve your burden, because many times students feel that physics is too tough. So let me assure you that this is the difficulty level of questions. This is again a board now. So entire question paper, the questions are to be set of this difficulty level. So easy questions, the total weightage out of 98 is of 29 marks. That is 30% of your question paper will be, the questions will be of easy type. Then the average questions, as you can see, the weightage allotted is of 49 marks out of 98. That is 50% of your question paper will be of average difficulty level. And if you see the last row, the difficult questions, so-called difficult questions. So the weightage allotted is of 20 marks out of 98. The percentage is of 20 marks. So students, you need not worry so much. If you have taken efforts wholeheartedly, I'm sure that each one of you will be definitely be able to solve all those easy questions which are of 30 marks. And for those who have taken efforts wholeheartedly, they will be able to solve all the 50% average type question papers. At the most, at least 40% of those average difficulty level questions you will be able to solve. So 40 plus 30, that is 70% question paper, each one of you should be able to attempt. And for those who have revised the content twice or thrice, for them, solving the difficult questions also won't be that tough task. So you need not worry so much. Only thing is, you should go through the entire content and prepare yourself for the final board exam. Now let us move to the next slide. Now here, my next 3 to 4 slides, I think there I have tried to summarize the content. So if you go through all these slides, if you want, you can even click the screenshots of these slides. Here I have tried to summarize the textbook content. Though I have, in these slides, I am not able to cover entire content, 100% content. But even though if you prepare yourself with these key points, I have tried to include the FAQs, frequently asked questions, category wise. So if you use this as the key points for your quick revision, I'm sure that it will be helpful for you for your final preparation. Okay. It's a kind of crash course, you may say. Okay, so let us go through all these slides one by one. So as you can see this slide, in this slide, I tried to cover the definitions which are likely to be asked or frequently asked in the previous board exams or generally asked in the board exams. Okay, so I'll quickly go through this list one by one. So definitions, if you have read the textbook before, then I'm sure that you will be able to make out which chapter these definitions are from, or I'll quickly go through the list for you. So let us go through the list. Moment of inertia, radius of gyration. These definitions you will find in chapter 1, rotational dynamics. Then surface tension, surface energy, angle of contact. These definitions you will find in chapter number 2, that is mechanical properties of fluids. Then the next in this list, RMS speed of gas molecules, you will find in kinetic theory of gases, efficiency of heat engine in thermodynamics, then linear and angular SHF, seconds pendulum, you will find in the chapter oscillations, then resonance and beats you will find in the next chapter, chapter number 6, wavefront, wave normal, Brewster's angle, diffraction, you will find in the chapter interference and diffraction. Then capacitance you will find in the chapter electrostatics. Current of 1 ampere you will find in current electricity. Then magnetization, magnetic intensity, magnetic moment of an electron, Bohr magneton, gyromagnetic ratio. All these definitions you will find in the chapter magnetic materials. I think magnetic moment of an electron, Bohr magneton, and gyromagnetic ratio, if not in magnetic material, you will find it in the, no, in magnetic materials only you will find it. Maybe content wise here and there. Some of the concepts you will find in the chapter dual nature of matter, right? Then RMS value of alternating current, self-inductance, mutual inductance, inductance of 1 Henry, you will find in the chapter simple AC circuit and electromagnetic induction. Photoelectric work function, threshold frequency, threshold wavelength, stopping potential, all these definitions are related to photoelectric effect. Half-life of a radioactive material you will find in the chapter atoms, molecules and nuclei under radioactivity. Then depletion layer, barrier potential you will find in semiconductors. So this slide will help you to prepare yourself for some of the concepts from various chapters. Though I have categorized them under definitions, if you prepare yourself with these concepts, you may be able to answer the question which is based on this concept. If the language of question is changed, I am sure that accordingly you should be able to modify your answer. No doubt the content of your answer will remain the same. So these are some key points for definitions. Now let us move to the next slide. Now this slide includes laws and principles. This first part, let me go through quickly. So as you can see, equation of continuity, Bernoulli's principle, Pascal's law, Laplace law of spherical membrane, Newton's law of viscosity, Stokes law. All these laws you will find in the chapter. Can anybody tell me from which chapter these laws are? Students, I'll be very happy if somebody, yes?
Mechanical properties of fluids.
Yes, very true. So mechanical properties of fluid. So these laws are included from that chapter. Now what is Laplace law of spherical membrane? Can somebody quickly answer to this question? Students? Is there anybody who wants to answer to this? Laplace law of spherical membrane is related to pressure difference either for a liquid drop or soap bubble. So pressure inside is always greater than pressure outside. Yes, Aditi, very true. It is Pi minus Po is equal to 2T upon R for liquid drop, and if it is a soap bubble, taking into consideration the two surfaces, Pi minus Po is equal to 4T upon R. So this is just a quick revision. So if the, or this, you can use this as the key points to check yourself how prepared you are. Okay, so use these slides as the checkpoints for your quick revision. Now, down the list of these laws and principles, I have included Wien's displacement law and Stephen-Boltzmann law. So where do you find these both laws? You find them in the radiation part of your third chapter. Wien's displacement law states that lambda max is inversely proportional to the absolute temperature of the black body. Stephen-Boltzmann law, the power radiated is proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature. Okay. Further, zeroth law, first and second law of thermodynamics, obviously you will find in the chapter thermodynamics. Laws of simple pendulum in the chapter oscillations. Then laws of vibrating string you will find in stationary waves. Brewster's law related to polarization of light and polarizing angle, refractive index of the material. Then Gauss law in electrostatics, Kirchhoff's law for electric circuit, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Then Biot-Savart law for magnetic induction. Here, this law, you can use it as a tool to determine the magnetic field produced by a current carrying conductor. Similarly, Ampere's circuital law is another tool for you to determine the magnetic field produced by a current element. If you have studied the chapter magnetic effect of electric current, you must be thorough with these laws. If not, today itself, use this list as the key point for you and prepare yourself for all these laws. Can anybody quickly tell me what is Ampere's circuital law? The mathematical statement. Can anybody tell me? Students? Integral B dot dl for a closed loop is equal to mu 0 I. Mu 0 times the current crossing the area enclosed by that loop. Okay. Then because of time constraint, I am not able to elaborate much on each of this key point, but I am just tapping each of this key point so that you'll at least have some idea which theory content it is related to. Fine. Now next in this list is Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction and de Broglie hypothesis. The wavelength associated with material particle, lambda is equal to h upon p. Fine. So here I have tried to enlist the laws and principles which are included in your textbook. Then as you can see, the next part of my slide is the diagrams. So here I have enlisted some of the diagrams which are frequently asked. Your section B, which is of 2 marks, many times they ask 1 or 2 questions to draw the diagrams. So here is the list of the diagrams which are to be included. So banking of road, lower and upper speed limit. So there are 2 diagrams included in the textbook. There is a slight difference between these 2 diagrams. So if you compare lower speed limit and upper speed limit, where the force of friction is acting, is it acting upwards along the inclined road or does it act downwards along the inclined road? That makes a difference. So today itself, if you are not aware of this difference between the 2 diagrams, after the session, open the textbook, see both the diagrams and compare them. You will find the difference, you will find the similarities. And finding the commonness, finding the differences, what is the minute difference between the 2 diagrams, it will help you to memorize the things. Fine. Next is angle of contact diagrams. There are 3 diagrams depending on obtuse angle of contact, acute angle of contact, and zero angle of contact. So relative resultant intermolecular force or relative cohesive and adhesive forces, that makes a difference. If you take water glass pair, if you take kerosene glass pair, if you take mercury glass pair, accordingly, whether the cohesive forces are stronger, the resultant cohesive force is stronger, or the resultant adhesive force is stronger, or how the resultant of the intermolecular force lie, whether it lies inside liquid or whether it lies inside solid, that makes a difference. So accordingly, acute angle of contact, obtuse angle of contact, and zero angle of contact, there are three different diagrams. So draw the three diagrams side by side, find the commonness, find the differences. That will help you to remember the diagrams. Then capillary rise. There are again two diagrams for water glass and mercury glass pair. Either the water level rises inside the capillary tube or mercury level drops down. So accordingly, compare both the diagrams and prepare yourself. Then Ferris black body radiation spectral distribution. Both these diagrams you'll find in chapter number 3. Then PV diagrams of various thermodynamic processes like isothermal, isobaric, isochoric, then adiabatic, then reversible and non-reversible processes. So there are different types of thermodynamic processes, and for each process the PV diagram is different. So go through all those processes and the corresponding PV diagrams. Then graphical representation of SHL. 3 graphs, that is of displacement, velocity and acceleration of a particle performing SHL. Again, there are 2 different sets, whether the particle starts from mean position or the particle starts from extreme position. So depending on that, there are 2 different sets of diagrams. So again, compare both these sets and find out what is the commonness, what is the difference. Then energy in SHM. For a particle which is performing simple harmonic motion, its kinetic energy is given by the formula half K in bracket S square minus X square, whereas its potential energy is given by formula half Kx square, whereas its total energy, it always remains constant, which is equal to half Ks square. So depending on that, there is a graphical representation, energy of a particle performing simple harmonic motion. So go through the graph, see the labeling, then different modes of vibration of sonometer and air columns. Again, sonometer wire, fundamental mode, single loop, first overtone, second overtone. Then air column, there are 2 types. Air column which is open at both ends, or the air column which is closed at one end. For the air column which is closed at one end, it is the same as your experiment, resonance tube. So all the 3 modes of vibration, fundamental mode, then first overtone and second overtone, you should prepare with. Draw the diagram side by side, find the commonness, find the differences. Then meter bridge, you have performed 2 experiments in your practical course using Wheatstone's meter bridge. One experiment was to verify the laws of resistances in series and parallel. The other experiment was Kelvin's method. So both these experiments you have performed using Wheatstone's meter bridge. So see the circuit diagrams, draw them side by side, find what is the difference in the 2 circuit diagrams. Also write the formulae. By this, you will prepare yourself for the theory question, maybe of 2 marks. Sometimes they ask you to draw the diagram for 2 marks. Now, if the question is for 2 marks, what do they expect you? To draw the correct diagram and do the appropriate labeling. So for 2 marks diagram question, 1 mark is there for the correct diagram and 1 mark is for labeling. So don't forget to do the labeling. Okay. Sometimes they ask you 3 marks question to describe this experiment. So by practicing these diagrams, you are not only preparing yourself for the theory question maybe of 2 marks or maybe of 3 marks, you are also preparing yourself for the experiment. Similarly, for potentiometer, both these you will find in the chapter current electricity. So potentiometer setup, you have performed 2 experiments. One is E1 by E2 to compare the EMFs of 2 cells using potentiometer. So see what is the correct circuit diagram. Practice for the diagram. Formula is E1 by E2 is equal to L1 by L2 if you are using separate cell method. Then again using the same potentiometer, you have performed the other experiment to compare, to determine the internal resistance of a cell. So there is a slight difference in the circuit diagram. So draw both the circuit diagrams side by side, and then students, just give me 1 minute. Students, since we started this session a little late because of some technical thing, live streaming part. So maybe I'll continue till quarter to 2. And at quarter to 2, your chemistry session will begin. Okay. So where were we? We were discussing about potentiometer thing. So using potentiometer, you have performed the other experiment, which was internal resistance of a cell. And what is the formula for that? What is the circuit diagram that you practice side by side? Potentiometer one experiment, potentiometer other experiment. Draw the circuit diagram side by side, write the formulae side by side, and revise the experimental procedure also. Because many times for these two things, they ask you either a 3 marks question. Describe this experiment. So 1 mark for the circuit diagram, 1 mark for the experimental procedure, and then the correct formula. If it is a 2 marks question, the correct circuit diagram and the correct circuit diagram and then the labeling. Fine. Now the next part in my slide is phasor diagram for purely resistive, capacitive and inductive circuit. Now this part you will find in the chapter simple AC circuits. Alternating EMF applied to a pure resistor, capacitor or inductor. What are the corresponding circuit diagrams? And how either the current leads the EMF or the current lags behind the EMF in the respective circuits, or both EMF and current, they vary in phase in case of purely resistive circuit. So all these 3 concepts, purely resistive, purely capacitive and purely inductive circuit, prepare yourself simultaneously. That will help you to understand the things better and to remember the things better. Then what is the capacitive reactance? What is the inductive reactance? Omega C or XC rather, XC and XL. That also you can revise. Okay. Next part is energy level diagram of hydrogen atom. Many times this diagram is also asked for 2 marks. So energy level diagram of hydrogen atom, how the ground state is of energy minus 13.6 electron volt. Then the higher energy levels are of the energy value 13.6 upon n square. Okay. So all these minute details, as I have mentioned before also, the diagrams question, they ask you for 2 marks. So the higher energy levels, you should label them as ground state will be E1, then E2, E3, En. So each of this energy level, the energy difference for each 2 energy levels, it goes on decreasing as you move further for the higher energy states. So the correct energy level diagram with the appropriate labeling is important. Then showing the transition of electron from higher energy states to lower energy state and the corresponding series of spectral lines, Lyman series, Balmer series, Paschen, Pern, and so on. So the correct labeling, appropriate diagram, you are expected to learn. Next is circuit diagram for half and full wave rectifier. Diode as a half wave rectifier, diode as a full wave rectifier. You will find in the chapter semiconductors. Then next part is transistor amplifier circuit. So how to use transistor as an amplifier? Now, though I have included these three in the diagram section, when you prepare yourself with these key points, just don't prepare yourself for the circuit diagram. You can also learn the theory part, so that if 3 marks question is asked, describe how will you use a diode as a half wave rectifier, or diode as a full wave rectifier, or transistor as an amplifier. So simultaneously, you are preparing yourself not only for 2 marks diagram question, but you are also preparing yourself for the 3 marks question. Fine. So these are the key points which cover laws, then principles and diagrams. Now let us move to my next slide. Now this slide will include some differentiate between concepts. So as I have mentioned before also, when you are preparing yourself for the content, it always helps to compare different concepts which you find some commonness and some differences. So if you do such a comparative study, it will help you for better understanding and to remember the things. So here is a list of some differentiate between things. Though it is not the complete list, but I have tried to cover at least 70 to 80% content of your textbook. So here are some FAQs which are asked in this fashion. Differentiate between centripetal and centrifugal force, streamline and turbulent flow, free and forced vibrations, progressive and stationary waves, interference and diffraction, potentiometer and voltmeter. Now here, let me tell you that even though I have included it under differentiate between potentiometer and voltmeter, it is not necessary that always you will be asked to differentiate between potentiometer and voltmeter. They may slightly change the language of question. State how potentiometer is advantageous than voltmeter. What are the advantages of potentiometer over voltmeter? So whatever are those 4 points of differentiation, only you can change the language of answer. And then you can write it in the form that what are the advantages of potentiometer over voltmeter. Then differentiate between ammeter and voltmeter. Now here, when you design an ammeter using a galvanometer, what do? In order to use a galvanometer or to use a galvanometer as an ammeter, what is the requirement? The resistance should be as small as possible. So what do? We connect a shunt resistance. Shunt is a very small resistance in parallel with the galvanometer. Whereas in voltmeter, what do we desire? The resistance of the voltmeter should be as large as possible. So how do we achieve that? We connect a very large resistance in series with the galvanometer. So by preparing yourself on this guidelines, you can prepare yourself for any question which will be asked based on these concepts. Next in the list is differentiate between diamagnetic and ferromagnetic material, or paramagnetic and ferromagnetic material. Then nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Then LED and photodiode. Okay. So covering these key points prepares yourself for all the theory concepts for any question which will be asked based on this. Further, as you can see the other part of my slide, I have included some formulae. Look at this formulae which are included in these boxes. So as you can see this formulae, the first formula, what is it about? Can anybody tell me? Students, what is the first formula about? Come on. Yes, Pranav. Simple pendulum, correct. Aditi, time period of a simple pendulum. What is the second formula about? What is the second formula? It is about the fundamental frequency either of a stretch string n is equal to 1 by twice L under root T upon F. Also, you can see the formula V by 2L is applicable for your air column, which is open at both ends. If you do the comparative study, then in case of sonometer, all harmonics are present. Same is the case with an air column or the pipe which is open at both ends. So this formula V by 2L is also applicable for a pipe which is open at both ends. Whereas the third formula, as you can see in the box, it is of resonant frequency in case of LC circuit. Okay. Now the point is why I have included this three formulae in the slide, because I have seen that students, they get confused in this three formulae if they read it only once. कधीतरी एकदाच फॉर्म्युला लर्न केलाय आणि मग तो एक्झाम मध्ये लिहायचा आहे, तर बऱ्याचदा मग काय गडबड होते, 2π च्या जागी 2L लिहिला जातो, अंडर रूट L अपॉन G च्या जागी अंडर रूट LC लिहिला जातो. So mathematically, if you look at these three formulae at a glance, there are some similar terms, but from physics point of view, these three formulae are totally different. So if there are certain formulae which are having some common terms, try to find what is the difference from physics point of view in that. So what is the similarity? What is the commonness? What is the difference? So if you learn the formulae with all these minute details, then I'm sure that there is no scope to go wrong anywhere. Okay. So I've just given you one example. Like this, if you read your things, if you revise the things twice, thrice, then you can find out such a things at your own also. Fine. Now the next slide, next box, as you can see in this slide, composition of two SHMs. These are certain derivations. Amplitude of resultant wave due to superposition of two waves, formation of stationary waves, and expression for bit frequency. If you go through the derivations of all this, you will find some commonness. All these derivations, they are based on superposition of two waves. So all these four derivations, if you do separately, you may get confused. But if you do them simultaneously, side by side, you may find some commonness, you may find some differences. Two waves, either the two waves have the same amplitude and same frequency, but traveling in opposite direction, or they have slightly different frequencies, or they are of different amplitudes. So what is the commonness? What is the differences? So study this derivation on some common ground so that you can find some commonness, you may find some differences, and such a comparative study will always be helpful for you. Similarly, see the last box, capacitors in series and parallel, inductors in series and parallel, energy stored in a capacitor or energy stored in an electric field, energy stored in an inductor or energy stored in energy stored in a magnetic field. Okay, so do you find some similarity? Can anybody tell me what is the formula for energy stored in a capacitor and that for energy stored in an inductor? So quickly we can find some commonness in that. Students? What is the energy stored in a capacitor? Again, due to time constraint, I will not wait much. Energy stored in a capacitor is half CV square, whereas energy stored in an inductor is half Li square. So both these formulae, they are somewhat similar. Okay. So again, it will help you to remember the things. So I have just given you some examples. At your own also, you can find many such similarities and many such differences. Now let us move to the next slide. I'll try to wind up in another 10 minutes. So as you can see, this slide is for relations. Now this slide will help you to prepare yourself for MCQs or for numericals. So I enlisted certain concepts which involve some relations, like terminal velocity of a spherical object. What is the formula? 6 pi eta RV. So how the terminal velocity depends on the radius of the spherical object. Based on that, many MCQs can be framed. Or for that matter, the other factors also on which terminal velocity depends, like viscosity of the medium, density of the medium, or density of the object, density of the material of the object, and so on. Similarly, capillary rise and radius. For a given set, you know that the factor RH remains constant. So R1 H1 is equal to R2 H2. Then speed of a fluid flow, cross-sectional area of a pipe. This relation is based on equation of continuity. A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. Then RMS speed of a gas molecule. How is it related to absolute temperature of a gas? RMS speed is equal to under root 3 RT by M. So it is directly proportional to square root of temperature. Average energy per molecule of a gas. How it is related to absolute temperature of a gas? Okay, 3 by 2 kBT. Okay, so that relation also you can quickly revise. Then wavelength for maximum emissive power of a black body. How it is related to absolute temperature of the black body. This is nothing but Wien's displacement law. Lambda max is proportional to 1 by absolute temperature, or lambda max into T is equal to constant. Next, power radiated by a black body and its absolute temperature. How it is directly proportional to T to the power 4. Then fundamental frequency of sonometer wire. Length law and tension law, you have already verified in your practical course. Sonometer first law, sonometer second law. In your theory textbook, they have also included how the fundamental frequency depends on linear density, that is mass per unit length of the wire, radius of the wire, thickness or thinness of the wire, or density of the material of which the wire is made up of. Then next is fringe width. Young's double slit experiment. Fringe width is equal to lambda into big D upon small d. So how the fringe width depends on lambda d, big D and small d. Then magnetic susceptibility and absolute temperature. Okay, magnetic materials. The magnetic susceptibility psi into absolute temperature is equal to constant. Psi t is equal to constant. So many MCQs can be framed on this, or some numerical also can be asked based on this. Inductance of a solenoid. How does it depend on the number of turns and the diameter of the solenoid? De Broglie wavelength of a charged particle, that of an electron or that of a photon, lambda. How does it depend on mass of the charged particle, charge of the particle, and the field potential through which the particle is accelerated? Then the next three points are from Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. How the radius of Bohr's orbit depends on n square. Speed of revolution of electron, how does it depend on principal quantum number? Energy of electron, how does it depend on n square? So this entire list will help you to revise these concepts and to solve MCQs or numericals based on this. So students, here I have tried to give you some guidelines or key points which will help you to revise the things quickly. So it's a kind of, these guidelines will help you for quick revision. Now next, I won't take this slide, which is of your revision of practical work, or how the distribution will be there for your 30 marks practical evaluation. This uh, split is also given in your handbook, so I won't spend time on it. Now, though I haven't prepared any slide for time management, quickly I'll discuss about the time management part. Uh, so what I would suggest, I already mentioned that the first 10 minutes time, when you read the question paper, you utilize it to make a decision which questions you are going to attempt from section B, C, and D. Now that 180 minutes time, which is there for you while solving the answer paper, how to utilize it. Section B, which consists of 2 marks question, I would suggest that you should not spend more than 5 minutes time for each question. So section B, there are 8 questions. Spend 5 minutes for each question. So 40 minutes for section B. Section C, 3 marks question. You should not spend more than 7 minutes for that. Again, 8 questions. So 8 into 7, that is 56 minutes. So you should cover your section C not more than 60 minutes time. Section D, each question is of 4 marks. Don't spend more than 10 minutes time for each, so that section D you should finish in half an hour. So far for section B, C, and D, 40 minutes, 60 minutes, and 30 minutes. So 130 minutes you have spent for section B, C, and D. For section A, now what is the time remaining with you? That is 50 minutes time. So section A, there are 18 questions of 1 marks each. So you can spend 2 minutes each for each of this. So 18 into 2, that is 36 minutes. At most you can spend 40 minutes. So section A, you should finish within 40 minutes time. Still 10 minutes time remains with you for checking of your answer paper. Fine. So that's all from my side. Wish you all the best. And if you work on these guidelines, I'm sure that each one of you can do well in your final board exam. Wish you all the best. So let us stop here. Now next, your chemistry teacher will take over. Further, students, if you have any doubts, you can, I'm always available for you individually also. In the college premises, or maybe on WhatsApp, if you have any doubts, you can send me your doubts individually. Sunil sir. So can I leave the meeting? Meeting leave करू का? That's it. Your chemistry teacher will take the charge further.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to see HSC board paper pattern for chemistry. Year 2022-2023. First, we see chemistry subject weightage. Total weightage for chemistry is 100 marks. Here, you see for 100 marks, it includes theory and practical examination. Theory for 70 marks and practical for 30 marks. Total 100 marks for chemistry. First, we are going to see the theory examination, syllabus and paper pattern. Unit-wise distribution of marks for chemistry, standard 12. See here, unit-wise mark distribution is given. First column, it indicates maximum marks, and second column, it indicates maximum marks with option. Hence, unit number 1, solid state, 3 maximum marks, and along with option, 5 marks. Chapter number 2, solutions, maximum marks 4, and marks with option 6. Chapter number 3, ionic equilibria, maximum marks 4 and marks with option 6 marks. Chapter number next, that is thermodynamics, maximum weightage for thermodynamics 6 marks and marks with option 8 marks. Electrochemistry, maximum marks 5 and marks with option 7 marks. Next is chemical kinetics, maximum marks 4 and marks with option 6. Elements of group 16, 17 and 18, maximum marks 6 and marks with option 8. Chapter number 8, transition and inner transition elements, maximum mark 6 and marks with option 8. For coordination chemistry, maximum marks 5 and marks with option 7. Halogen derivatives, maximum marks 5 and marks with option 7. Chapter number 11, alcohols, phenols and ethers. For this chapter, maximum marks 4 and marks with option 6. Chapter number 12, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids, maximum mark 6 and marks with option 8. Chapter number 13, amines, maximum marks 3 and marks with option 4. Chapter number 14, biomolecules, maximum marks 3 and marks with option 4. Chapter number 15, introduction of polymer chemistry, maximum marks 3 and marks with option 4. Then last chapter, green chemistry and nanochemistry, maximum marks 3 and marks with option 4. In this way, maximum marks for chemistry is 70 and marks with option in the paper, it includes 98 marks. Question paper format, total marks 70 and time duration for this is 3 hours. General instructions, the question paper, it consists of 4 sections. Section A, Section B, Section C, and Section D. Then Section A, it contains question number 1, select and write the correct answer. And this question, it's for 10 marks. 1 to 10 MCQs are given. And question number 2, it contains 1 marks question. Total questions are 8, but you have to write the answer in short. For this question number 2, either you are getting 1 mark or 0. Half mark is not allotted for question number 2. Section B, attempt any 8 out of 12 questions. You have to attempt 8. Per question 2 marks and total marks are 16. And this section B, question number 3 to question number 14, short answer. Section C, attempt any 8, total marks 24 marks. Question number 15 to question number 26. This is short answer type questions and 3 marks for each question. And last section D, it's for 12 marks, attempt any 3. Total 5 questions are given. That is from question number 27 to question number 31. And all these questions are long answer type questions. Here note is given for each MCQ, you have to write the correct answer must be written along with its alphabets. Here example is given for question number 1. Select and write the most appropriate answer from the given alternative. This question for 10 marks. Suppose the question was asked, identify the chiral molecule from the following. Here the correct answer is C. That's why you have to write only number 1. And first you have to write the option, and in front of option you have to write the correct answer. Therefore, the correct answer is 2-bromobutane. In this way, you have to write 1 to 10 questions. Here, weightage as per type of questions. Type of questions are MCQ type, VSA, short answer, first type, short answer, second type, long answers. Number of questions. Question number 1 for MCQ, 1 mark each, total 10 marks. Question number 2, 1 to 8, 1 mark each, 8 marks. Question number 3 to 14, 2 marks each, total marks 24. Then question number 15 to 26, 3 marks each, 36. And long answer questions, question number 27 to question number 31, 4 marks each. And this section for 20 marks. In this way, total marks are 98. Then next part, you see section A. In the section A, two numericals will be asked. Here you have to write only correct answer. In question number 2, answer the following 1 to 8, very short answer type questions. Here also 1 numerical will be asked. And total marks for this question number 2 is 8. The most important point here you have to remember, either you are getting 1 mark or 0 mark for this one. Half mark won't be given for this question. Then section B, attempt any 8 out of 12 questions. And here it starts from again question number 3 to question number 14. Short answer type 1 questions. And in question number 3 to 14, 2 numericals will be asked. The next section, section C, here you have to attempt any 8 out of 12. And each question weightage is 3 marks. And this section C, it starts from question number 15 to question number 26. Short answer type 2. And in this part, 2 numericals will be asked. Total marks 24. Last section, section D. This is a long answer type section. And here you have to attempt any 3 out of 5. Question number 27 to question number 31, long answer types. 1 numerical in each sub-question of 2 marks. Not numerical should be maximum 12 to 15 marks and be included in each section. So you have to pay the attention on solving the numericals also. And whenever you write the answer for numerical, you have to write proper unit. Time management, reading of question paper, 10 minutes. Section A, select and write the correct answer, 10 MCQs, 2 minutes each, total time is 20 minutes. Question number 2, short answer type. Question 1 to 8, total questions 8. Total time for this question is 16 minutes. Section B, for this section you have to give 40 minutes time. Section C, 64 minutes. And last section D, 30 minutes. After completing the paper, you have to give 10 minutes for checking the paper once again. Have you attempted all the questions or not? In this way, total time is 190. Then see general instructions for paper writing. Write each section on new page. When section A gets over, you have to start section B on new page. So the most important point here you have to remember, start new section on new page. Start new section only after completing previous section. Put the correct question numbers. Types of questions. For 1 mark question, definitions, laws, short numericals, UPSC names, draw the structure, name the reagent, reaction, uses, name the reaction, arrange the given compounds in increasing or decreasing order depending upon MP or BP, mathematical equation. These questions will be asked for 1 mark. For a definition, whatever definition is given in our textbook, that only consider. For laws, again same one. For short numericals, there will be no conversion, direct answer. For IUPAC names, you have to write direct name. Please don't write again structure. No need to copy the structure once again in the question paper. Draw the structure. Here you have to write draw the structure only. Name the reagent. If some reactions are asked, you have to write only name of the reagent. Reactions, how will you convert? For that, you write only reaction. For uses, here you remember if uses are asked for 1 mark, at least you have to write 2 uses. Half mark is allotted for each use. Name the reaction. Reaction is given. Here, you have to identify the reaction, write the name of that reaction. With increasing and decreasing order, when you arrange the compounds, basic criteria is given, maybe boiling point, melting point. According to that, you have to write. Or stability. Mathematical equation, here you have to write direct equation. But whenever you are writing mathematical equation, you have to write the notations. For example, P means pressure, V is volume, T, capital T is temperature. 2 or 3 marks questions, here state and explain the law. For statement 1 mark and for explanation 1 mark. If same question is asked for 3 marks, you have to write the notation along with explanation. And again, you have to include what are drawbacks of this law. Distinguish between, it depends on weightage. If distinguish is asked for 2 marks, you have to write at least 4 points. And if the same question is asked for 3 marks, you have to write 6 points. And here you remember examples will be not considered as a distinguished point. Write a note on. Here name reaction is given. You have to explain that reaction in detail. Suppose here Wood's reaction is asked. For that you have to write statement. Then you have to write explanation. And after that you have to write the limitations of that reaction. Limitations means methane cannot be obtained and only we prepare even number of carbon compounds. In this way, some limitations are given for some reactions that you have to write in. Explain with example. For explanation 1 mark, and you have to explain that example. First you write statement for that example and then you have to explain it. Derive mathematical equation. Classification. When you write classification, first you have to write classification is based on which point. And then you have to write in detail classification. First, you write main classification, and here you have to mention in shortly definition of that class. And at the end, you have to write example for each classification. Reaction-based questions means how will you convert, how will you prepare? And numericals, if it is asked for 2 marks or 3 marks, depending upon that, you have to solve it properly. For numericals, First, you write whatever given in the numerical. Then you have to write the equation or formula according to which law or depending upon what. Then you have to put the values and you have to solve the numerical. At the end, you have to write the answer and you have to put the rectangle for that answer. But in the numerical, unit is compulsory for the result. There are some questions based on organic reactions. Here, how will you prepare A from B? How will you convert A to B? Well, how will you prepare is asked. That time you have to remember A, it is a product, and B, it is a reactant. And how will you convert that time? A, it is a reactant, and B is a product. What is the action of following reagents on A? Here you have to write the answer separately. What will happen when that reagent it reacts with reactant? And here reaction condition is compulsory. You have to write reaction condition for each reaction because half mark is allotted for reagent and reaction conditions. Write balanced chemical equation. Then you write reaction. You have to write the byproduct also. The reaction should be balanced. In the reaction, you have to write the name of reactant and product. No need to write the name of byproduct. But you have to write the byproduct to balance the reaction. Explain or write a note on. Here you have to write in detail whatever name reaction is asked. Here some questions are given. Explain continuous etherification process for the preparation of diethyl ether. Identify A and B in the following reaction. In the identification, first you have to write the reaction up to A. And then on second line, you have to start conversion from A to B. And when you write complete reaction, after that you have to write what is A and what is B. But for this question, reaction should be balanced and you have to write the reaction in the paper. Write the chemical reactions of chlorobenzene with respect to sulfonation, acetylation, nitration. 3 marks question. First, you write explanation. What is sulfonation and what reaction condition is required for that one? Then reaction. In the reaction, byproduct is needed. Then only reaction get balanced. In nitration also, you write nitrating mixture, concentrated H2SO4 and HNO3. And it gives ortho, para, meta, whatever nitro products are coming, that also you have to mention along with byproduct. How is ethanol prepared from the following compounds? Ethanol, that is aldehyde, ethene from alkene, and bromoethane. For this, first you write the sentence related to that reaction and then you have to write the reaction along with byproduct. For A, C, and D type reaction, first you have to write the reactions and then below that you have to write A. What is A? For that A, first you write structure and then name of A. Similarly for B, C, and D. When methyl bromide, it reacts with KCl, it gives methyl cyanide plus KBr is the byproduct. This A is methyl cyanide. It undergoes hydrogenation reaction in presence of lithium aluminum hydride. It gives ethyl amine. This ethyl amine is a B product. Again, this B product it undergoes reaction with HNO3 in presence of base pyridine. It gives ethyl alcohol. In this way, first you have to write the reaction, whether the question will be asked for 2 marks or 3 marks. First, you have to write the balance reaction, and after that, you write what is A, what is B, and what is C. This is the correct method to write the answer. C, A is methyl cyanide, B is ethyl amine, and C is ethyl alcohol. Along with formula, you have to write the name of A, B, and C. This question, it will be asked for 3 marks. Please don't write direct answer A, B, and C. Reactions are expected for such questions. Numericals, 2 marks numericals without conversion and numericals for it will be asked for 12 to 15 marks in the chemistry paper. Point to cover in the numericals. Formula, substitution, calculation, and answer with proper unit. First, before that, you have to write whatever given in the numerical. Pressure, volume, temperature, whatever is given, you have to mention that. And then you have to write the formula, substitute the values, do calculations. You have to show the log calculation there also. And you have to write the answer with proper unit. Answer to be calculated till third decimal place. Log calculations are compulsory for numerical questions. Do not use approximation to write the final answer for numerical. Next is diagrams. You have to draw a diagram with minimum 4 correct labels. But here you remember, you have to do labeling whatever parts in that diagram, and whatever you know the labels, all you have to write. Do labeling one side only. Write the title of the diagram, because sometimes marks allotted for the title of diagram is half mark. Write explanation and complete balanced reaction. Things to write: pen, reactions, structure, P block element structure. For example, urotropine. Structures also you have to write it by pen. Don't use pencil. You have to use the pencil only for a diagram and labeling that diagram. Definitions and laws should be as given in the textbook, that only consider. Don't write any definition, whatever you know from any notes. Some important tips, very valuable and precious here. You have to do study properly, proper planning, at least an hour daily study is required. Reaction mechanism, reagents, nomenclature, numerical formulas must be revised daily after study so that you can remember everything properly. This is the HSC board textbook that you have to use it, and whatever definitions are given in that book, that you have to use it. Okay. Then about practical part. Practical, it's for 30 marks. And this question paper format of practical is given in the last page of handbook. You have to go through it. Here you have to remember certified journal. It's for 5 marks. Then oral and viva based upon that experiment, it's for 5 marks. Qualitative analysis. Titration, volumetric titration, 10 marks. For volumetric titration part A, you have to write it properly. Conversion, how you are going to prepare 0.1 molar solution, that conversion is needed. The next observation table. When you draw the observation table, you have to write the unit for CBR is ml. And for this CBR, you have to remember 2 readings must be same. Don't take average for this CBR. And the unit for CBR is ml. When CBR gets over, you have to do calculations. Log calculations are compulsory for titration. At the end of titration, you have to write the result, and you have to write the unit molar for that molarity. And here you remember the molarity is 0.1 is maximum. Chemical kinetics, physical long experiment. Here we have taken only one experiment that will be coming for the exam. But here you have to remember, you have to plot the graph. If your graph is correct, then you are getting full marks for that practical. And when you plot a graph, you have to write the name of that graph, concentration of HCl versus sodium thiosulfate. And here you have to write one unit for that graph. And graph it should be passed through origin. Physical long experiment is only one. Effect of temperature on concentration. And what is the effect of concentration on rate of reaction? When graph is over, at the end, you have to write the conclusion. Next, electrochemistry, we have not conducted this one. So only for physical long experiment, only first chemical kinetics will be asked. Qualitative analysis, acidic and basic radicals. For that, you have to write whatever given during practical, regular practical, that all the points you have to cover. And whenever you are getting positive test, you have to show that test to the teacher. And then you have to write it. For each radical, you have to take 2 CTs at least. For each step, separate marks are allotted, so you have to write all the steps properly. At the end, you have to write result, and in the result, you have to write name of the symbol. For example, NH4 plus, symbol is NH4 plus, and name is ammonium. Similarly, for acidic radicals also, you have to write 2 radicals, Cl minus, that is chloride, and SO4 minus, that is sulfate. So in the result, you have to write symbol as well as name of that radical. Activity also asked. For activity, you have to show the setup. And after showing the setup, you have to take sign. And lastly, you have to write result for that activity. When you prepare standard solution, you have to prepare it and show that volumetric class to the teacher. For food sample and functional group, no need to show anything. Whatever positive test you are getting, you have to write that test. Food sample, either you are getting biscuit or protein. And functional group, acid, next phenol, amine. These functional groups we have taken. Whatever we have conducted, same functional groups are coming for the final exam. Thermodynamics experiment. Here heat of neutralization, displacement, it will be asked for 6 marks. Here, when you complete heat of neutralization experiment, you have to take the sign tips for better score. Set the priority. List out the questions which are more confident about. Write a brief to the point with answer. Highlight the main points. First, you have to read question paper properly and you have to choose the questions. Attempt all the questions. Not needed to solve with options, but whatever you are solving, you have to solve it properly. Do proper time management. Space out each word. Whenever you are writing definition, first you have to write the main point. If definition is asked for alkyl halide, first you have to write alkyl halide and then you have to write the definition. Don't write direct definition. Don't panic, be confident. All the best. If any query related to this, you can ask now.
Hello, ma'am.
Any query related to this part?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
Ma'am, actually, I am having trouble remembering the name reactions from chapter number 11, 12, and 13. So, ma'am, what should I do for that?
You are not audible, yes. Can you message me on mobile? Or yes, you have to write the reactions again and again. More practice is required to write the reaction. And when you write reactions again and again, then you can remember the reagents as well as temperature condition or whatever reaction condition. So practice is needed for reactions. If you are reading reactions and you are writing directly, it's not possible. So you have to do more practice for writing the reactions. Again, any doubt? How to write the answer for proper question or anything? reaction statement is needed, then only you have to write the reaction. Don't write direct reaction. Explanation is needed. And at least you have to solve 2 board questions. So it's practice for you. First, you have to see the correct answers for that questions, and then you have to write in that time only. If you want to ask any query, you can ask. Next session will be starting at 3 o'clock. So there is a gap for half an hour. That you have to remember it, and then again you have to join.
Good afternoon, everyone, students. Am I audible? Students, am I audible? So they cannot speak. Yes, okay. Students, today we are going to discuss regarding the paper pattern. Okay. So I'm going to show you this slide. Is it visible? Paper pattern discussion. This is I'm sharing with you. Students, yes, yes, yes. Okay. So you can see the first mathematical paper pattern. So here, second page I am sharing right now. So you can see how many sections are there. Section A, section B, section C and D. Okay. So this I don't want. Okay, section A. So you can see the multiple choice questions will be there. Okay. So how many multiple choice questions will be there? 8 multiple choice questions, and out of that, each carrying 2 marks. So when it comes to multiple choice questions, I have seen this year also while terminal exam, when I was checking the paper, the main thing you have to remember that don't show any calculations. So whatever calculations you are going to do now, you have to just do it in the rough notebook. Then after that, rough side means last page of the paper. So you just write there rough work in that way, and you do all the calculations there, and you are going to just write the question number and its correct option. Okay. So for example, question number 1 is there, in that correct option is A. So you are going to write question number 1A, and also you are going to write the answer also. So these 3 things are expected. First, question number and its option and correct answer. If you write all these 3, so then you will get full marks for that if your answer is correct. Okay, that is the first thing you have to remember, because I have seen that 1 or 2 pages students were solving, and last somewhere their answer was there. So it should not like that. It should not happen. Okay, this is the first thing you have to remember. Now, after that, 4 marks questions will be there. 4 questions which are 1 mark each. So in this way, your section A will be of 20 marks. Okay. So those 1 marks questions will be, you have to show steps there. You are not going to write just answer. So you are going to write 1 or 2 steps there. Okay. So that is the very, very important thing. You are going to do that. Multiple choice questions, they are carrying 2 marks and here 1 mark. But there we are just expecting in multiple choice, only answer is expected. But here in 1 marks, at least 1 or 2 steps is required. Okay, because from 15 years I'm checking the paper. That's why the moderator, where they reduce your marks, I know. That's why I'm telling you. Okay. Now section B. So it is how many questions will be there? There are 12 questions will be there. So you are going to solve any 8. So you will have sufficient answer, means options will be there. There are 4 questions extra given. So therefore, each carrying 2 marks here. Okay. So 2 into 8, 16 marks. In this way, section B will be 16 marks. And very small and simple type questions will be there. If you touch the chapter, just the basic things also, then also you can score here this B section. Every year we have seen that most of the time students score here. Okay, B section. Then after that, C section, and here it contains 12 short answers. So here it is 3 marks questions are there. Again, you are going to solve 8 questions only out of 12. Okay. So out of 12, you are going to solve 8, and it is 8 into 3, 24 marks you will get here. Okay, in section C. Here, at least you have to show 3-4 steps. Then only each steps will carry 1 marks in this way. So that in detail, we are going to discuss it afterwards. So C section means little bit bigger examples than compared with the section B. And last one is D section. Here, how many questions will be there? So 8 long answer questions will be there. So out of that, you are going to solve only 5. So most of the time here, theorems will be asked. And now I am going to tell you which theorem you are going to do. Remember and note it down. And those are important theorems will be asked here in the exam. Most of the time, they will be repeated. Okay, so just note it down. Here, 3 options again. You will get 8 questions and you are going to solve only 5. So 3 options will be there. So each carrying 5 marks. In this way, you will get here 20 marks, 5 into 4. So in this way, this is all section A, section B, C, D. In this way, the whole portion will be covered. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the topic name. If you want to take the screenshot of this, you can take. And there, this you can see logic. Its option means with option. It is 8 marks are there. So means the weightage of this chapter matrix is 6, 10 in this way. And again, I am showing it. Total it is 112 because with options, na questions are extra questions are there. So total 112 marks question paper will be there. So just I am, if you want to take the screenshot of this, you can take. And after taking the screenshot, just message me done so that we can move to the next page. Okay, thank you. Now next page, you can see this one model question paper is there. Just take the screenshot of this and try to solve. This is section A. You can see multiple choice questions here. Section and 1 marks questions here. Question number 2 here. You can see 4 questions. Section B here. All small questions like this. This is the model question paper. All instructions and everything will be like this only. And you can see last year's board question papers also. You can solve. 2-3 years question papers you will get for this. Same pattern, same syllabus. Okay, you can take the screenshot of this. After taking this, message me done so that we can move to the next one. Taken the screenshot? Now next. So this is the last part. So 3 marks questions and last one it is section D questions here. So you can see that, prove that here. Here again one more theorem is there. Here theorem. This is also theorem. This is repeated so many times. Tan theta equal to 2h square minus ab upon a plus b. Pair of lines. In that, this is the theorem, important theorem. This is also from integration, important theorem. Take the screenshot of this. When you see the board question papers, you will come to know that how the questions and these theorems are again and again repeatedly these are asked. This theorem is also from definite integration. Okay, this is also, there are 7, I'm going to discuss in detail. There are 7 properties are there. Okay, out of that, this is one of the property. Taken. Now let us move to the next one. Next slide. Now logic. So this weightage is 8. So here you can see that it will be divided in this way. 1 minute. So it will be divided as 2 plus 2 plus 4. Okay, 8 marks in this way it will be asked. Or it may be asked as 1 plus 1, 2 plus 4 also. That is also a combination. Or it may be asked for 3 plus 2, 5, again 3. So that's why I have given all the type of examples here. You can see. So first one for 1 mark, it will be asked as a statement true or false. They may ask you. They may give small statements. You can see the first exercise. Directly they will give the statement and they will ask you whether the statement is true or false. Or sometimes they will give the statement and they will ask you to write it in symbolically. Okay, that is also for 1 mark. And sometimes they may give you symbol and they may tell you to convert it into a word, sentence. So that is for 1 mark. And for 2 marks, again, a true statement will be there, but that time the statement will be given as a compound statement. Okay. So compound statement means statement is little bit complicated. You have to convert it into symbol. And after that, sometimes they may ask you to write the negation of that. So first you have to convert it to symbol, and again you should know the rules how to find out the negation of that. And sometimes they may ask you to how to find the converse of that, then contrapositive. Any one of this they will ask you. Either way, they will ask you how to find the inverse of that. Means P implies Q, they will give you. They will ask you to find the contrapositive. Okay. So, and for 2 marks. Again, this is 2 marks means it is for multiple choice, and 2 marks means it is a written. So now here again writing symbolically, again small truth tables also they may ask you. For these are the theoretical type questions. And 3 marks means preparation of truth table. You know that how to prepare a truth table. Okay. So that type of examples will be there. Either they may ask you as previous slide you want to see. Okay, I will show you 1 minute. Just now I saw your message. Okay, this slide you want to take? Take the screenshot of this. This is one question paper. So you just you will come to know that how the questions will be asked here. Taken the screenshot of this? The one before this. Okay. I will show you. Is this one? Yes. Okay, taken. Okay, now we will move to the next one. So here I was discussing about how to prepare the truth table. They will give some statement pattern they will give, and they will ask you to prepare the truth table, or they may ask you to 2 statement patterns they give, and proving equivalence will be there. Or sometimes they may give statement pattern and they will ask you to find whether it is a tautology, whether it is a contradiction or contingency. When you open the textbook, you will see that contradiction, contingency, these questions will be there. Okay. So they may ask these questions for 3 marks. Okay. Normally for 4 marks from logic, if they ask, most of the time they don't ask for 4 marks, but if they ask, that will be without using truth table. So means prove that LHS equal to RHS without using truth table, means using the laws of the logarithms. You are going to prove that LHS equal to RHS. So that type of examples are little bit complicated, will be asked for 4 marks. So that is the only option for 4 marks. Therefore, very few examples are there. If you see the exercise, only 2 or 3 examples are there. And in miscellaneous also, only 2-3 examples are there. If you solve all those examples, because examples will not be asked from out of the textbook. All the examples will be asked from the textbook only. Okay. So if you see this, if you want to get these 4 marks, full marks, you just practice those questions. That's it. Very limited questions are there. Okay. So in this way, you will get full 8 marks. Logic is very easy chapter, and don't leave it for option. See, if you go through this and already you have done, I think, I know, and just go through according to this plan and you will score good marks for this. Okay. And sometimes this converse, contrapositive and inverse, they ask all these together for 3 marks. Any one of this you have written correctly, then you will get full 1 mark. If you have written 2, then you will get 2 marks in this way. If P implies Q is there, its converse is Q implies P in this way. Contrapositive is negation of Q implies negation of P. Inverse is negation of P implies negation of Q. So accordingly, you have to write in the words also. Okay, the sentence they give, and those sentences you are going to convert into using all these 3. If they will ask only 1, so that will be for 2 marks or 1 mark in this way. Now matrices. Next chapter, 6 marks its weightage. You can see that as compared with logic, its weightage is less. So therefore, the chapter is only, it needs to be done in a only important things you are going to do. It may be 2 plus 4. They may ask 1 word problem, big word problem for 4 marks, and 1 small example they will ask. Either they will ask you to find the adjoint of the matrix, only small half step before the inverse, finding inverse. Up to till that step, they may ask you. If they ask 3 plus 3, then the two small examples they will ask, middle meal type examples. For example, finding the inverse also they will ask for 3 marks. And for 3 marks, they will ask how to maybe multiplication or something they will give. Prove that means, for example, AB equal to AB raised to T, transpose of that. Means multiply again transpose, means two things will be there now. So that equal to B raised to T into A raised to T. That type of examples will be there. Here I have written already A inverse, AB inverse, that also will be asked here. Okay, this type of example. And row transformation, 3 into 3 matrix, that will be asked. Transformations will be there now, and you know how to find the inverse using transformation methods. And how to, there are some examples, equations will be there. So 3 equations if they ask, and using the reduction method is one there, and inversion method. Using those 2 methods, if they ask you, then it will be for 4 marks only. And for 2 marks, only 2 equations, small 2 into 2 matrix will be there. Okay. So there are only 4 things you have to do. How to find inverse using 2 methods. That is one, directly adjoint method you can find, or you can transformation method, either row transformation or column transformation. If you are practicing that, half step they may ask in between also. So that is the 2 things you are going to do. And there are again 2 methods to solve the equation. One is reduction method, another is inversion method. If you do, or if you practice only 4 examples, and of course you should know how to do the multiplication and all that, which is studied already in 11th standard, multiplication and all those small things. If you know already, then there is no need of practicing multiplication. Only directly if you solve 4 examples, you can score full marks 6. And remember, in matrices, normally doing silly mistakes, the chances are there. So the possibility of doing silly mistakes. So therefore, whenever you write, or whenever write the examples from carrying examples, you just cross check it. In matrix also, all the elements you have written here correctly or not, cross check it. In matrices, this happens, that's why I'm telling you. So you cross check it. Okay. And whenever you write the equations also, you cross check it, then only start solving. And most of the times, if they have not mentioned you adjoint method or reduction method or any method, if they have not mentioned you, and most of the time you use adjoint method only, which is there is a less chances of making mistakes, and adjoint method is very easy as compared with transformation. And using adjoint method easily, then directly you will get the answer. So avoid doing transformation. If they mention using row transformation, then you have to do that. Then you don't have choice for that. If there is a choice, then use adjoint method. This is my suggestion. Okay. And even reduction method is, inversion method also is there in reduction method. Both are equally, but inversion method you can use, because inverse you have to find now in that inversion method. So inverse you can use again adjoint method. Using adjoint method, find inverse, then A inverse B only you have to find X. Okay, so that will be easy for you. If they have not mentioned any word problem, it is not mentioned. You can see that last exercise word problems are there now. It is not mentioned. Okay. Now next chapter, trigonometric functions. So trigonometric functions, it is a big chapter and it is carrying the weightage is 10 marks. You can see 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 in this way the combination means it is having all the type of examples, 1 also, 2 also, 3 and 4. Either they may ask you 2 4 marks examples and 1 2 mark example, or 3 plus 4 also. In this way the combination they may ask you in the exam, coming exam. So all the type of examples are there written. 1 marks means only small principal solution. They will give you, find the principal solution of 30 degrees, sine inverse 30 degree. In this way, small examples they will ask you, or they may ask you to convert polar coordinates, how to find the polar coordinates into Cartesian coordinates. Starting it is there in the starting exercise. Small examples are there. And for 2 marks, again principal solution will be there. And find the angles. They may give that angles also they may give, and they may ask you to find the two angles they will give, they will ask you to find the third angle. You may use any of the formula, cosine formula, sine formula is there. Any of the formula you can use and to find the third angle. In this way, normally they will not give so easy examples, but they will give some angles and they will ask the other one in this way. So if they may not give you two angles, they will give you one angle only. A upon sine A formula is there, na B upon sine B, or cosine, one side also they will give in this way. Any side and any angle they will give, and they will use the cosine formula and sine formula to find the other angle or other sides in this way. Then 2 marks examples, again principal solution and general solution also they will be there for 2 marks, small examples. Again finding angles the same type, and the same general solution for 3 marks, bigger examples are there in that only. And again principal solution maybe will not be asking for 3 marks. It is there for 2 marks only. Those are small examples. And you should remember all the formulas for general solution. Okay. And after that, prove that sine rule, cosine rule, theorems. So I am telling you, the first time I am telling you theorem, students. In logic, there is no theorem. In matrices, there is no theorem, is not there. First time I am telling you about the theorems now. Note it down, which theorems are going to come in the exam. So you can make the list so that you can practice it from now onwards. So sine rule and cosine rule, these 2 theorems are important from this chapter, trigonometric functions. So noted, because students come afterwards and they ask us, they will give the list of theorems. Now I am giving you the list of theorems, note it down or take the screenshot of this. Done, students? Noted. Now pair of straight lines. Pair of straight lines. So you can see here the question, this is again small chapter. So only 6 marks weightage is there. So maybe 2 plus 4, or it may be 2 plus 2 plus 2, or 3 plus 3. In this way combination will be there. So they may ask 2 questions which are both are of 3 marks and 3 marks, or 2 marks and 4 marks in this way. So 1 mark example means find the value of tan theta in this way. They will ask. Small means just they will give all the values and they will ask the using the formula. Directly you can find the value of tan theta. You know that theorem is again important, finding the value of tan theta. I will show you to you. This is the formula. Here I am showing you. This is the formula to find the tan theta. 2h square minus ab upon a plus b. All the values they will give. They will give the value of h. They will give the value of a and b. Okay. So this theorem is asked for 3 marks, or sometimes they ask for 4 marks. Okay. So this is the theorem. Okay. So the pair of straight line theorem, you understood which theorem is important in pair of straight lines? Tan theta theorem is important. Now till now I have given you 3 theorems. Okay. So now 2 marks combined equation. They will give separate equations and they will ask you to combine the equations. So only multiplying both the equations to get the combined equation. Or sometimes they may ask you the value of, they will give the acute angle. Again, angle finding means cos theta formula is also there. So using that also you may find the angle. Or sometimes they will give the equations and conditions they will give, and they will ask you to find the value of k. Sum of slopes, for that also formula is there, product of slopes. All these things they will be asked for 2 marks only. Okay, again for 2 marks, it is multiple choice, and here it is 2 marks means again combined equations, separate equations, all these things are finding k, slopes also, product formula, all these will be asked for 2 marks. And for 3 marks, again they will give the condition and they will ask the value of certain thing. Means for example, finding the value of k, or sometimes they may ask you the 2 lines are parallel to each other or perpendicular to each other. That condition also they will ask you for 3 marks. Okay. So you know that what is the condition. If it is a perpendicular, then tan theta should be perpendicular means tan 90. Okay. So therefore tan 90 means what? It is infinite. If the lines are perpendicular, anything divided by 0 means this formula here, this one, where is this? Here, a plus b equal to 0. That is the condition for perpendicular. For parallel, what is the condition? X square equal to AB in this way. Okay. So that is the condition, means what I am talking about the conditions. And theorem again here, already I told you, tan theta theorem, and parallel and perpendicular condition already I told you. If they ask parallel condition, and it has to be x square equal to AB, and perpendicular condition a plus b equal to 0. Or sometimes they may give the equation only. They will ask you whether they are the pair of lines or not. You have to check that. Again, in the determinant, that formula is there now. So using that formula, pair of lines condition is there. So that if you prove that, that will be for 4 marks. Okay. Such example, pair of lines condition. Okay. Now next chapter, vectors. Vectors, it is a very big chapter. You can see theorems are also there. You just go through it, all the theorems. Any theorem may be asked here. So in most of the time, the important theorem in this is, most of the time it is asked, that is volume of the parallelepiped. This parallelepiped I have written here already. So its volume. So finding the volume of that theorem is there in your textbook. So that is important here in this chapter. Now 12 marks, again distribution of marks, you can see 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 in this way, or sometimes it may be 1 plus 1, 2 plus 4 plus 4. In this way, the combination they will ask you. Okay. So 1 mark means what they will ask you? They will ask just simple examples, find the magnitude of the vector, or find the unit vector. In this way, small examples will be there. For 2 marks, it is MCQ type here. So angle of cosines, or find the cos theta value also, and perpendicular parallel conditions. These are all the things in 2 marks questions will be there. They will give the condition and they will ask some k value or something. That will be for MCQ type. Okay. And angles given, cosines, vice versa. Sometimes they will ask you find the cos theta also, prove that the condition. And here they will give the condition for my MCQ type, and they will ask you the value of k. And here they will give the complete equation. There is no k here. Just they will ask you these 2 equations are parallel or perpendicular, like this. And here 3 and 4 marks examples are very important in this chapter. Most of the time they will ask you to find the parallelepiped volume of that. Means the theorem which is important. Based on that, the example they will ask. If they will not ask example, then definitely they will ask theorem. Okay. And prove that type of examples are also there here in this vector chapter. Okay. And tetrahedron also they will ask, means which is same only, centroid of the triangle, and after that the equilibrium of there. All these types are having the same only. So formula is same. Only for tetrahedron it is divided by 4 is divided by 6 in this way. Those changes are there. Otherwise, all the 3 formulas are same only. You just go through it, you will come to know that any one of these example will be asked. Either tetrahedron or this parallelepiped or centroid. Any of this will be there for 3 marks. Then after that, line and plane. So again, including line and plane, it is 10 marks, means both the chapters are small chapters. Okay. So it is just maybe 5 marks in this way it is divided. And you can see that 3 plus 3 plus 4, or any one chapter you can keep it as a for option chapter also, you may keep it, because there are, you have seen that B section also there are 4 questions extra. In C section also there are 4 questions extra. In last one, D section, there are 3 questions extra. So in this way, if you find any one of these chapters, if find it difficult, you can keep it as a extra and optional chapter, or just go through the small things, just the important things, just you can touch it and you can leave it. Okay. So just I am just discussing what are the 1 and 2 marks questions. Conversion of Cartesian into vector form, that will be for 1 mark. For 2 mark direction ratios, cosines, equation of plane, they will give some condition. They will ask you find the equation of plane and angle between two lines. For line chapter, they may ask you find the angle between two lines. And normally for 2 marks, it is same only 2 marks MCQ and 2 marks normal questions. And 3 marks normally they ask you shortest distance between two lines. Okay. So they will give two lines, equation of two lines. You have to find the shortest distance. Sometimes the shortest distance is 0. Means that time both the lines are intersecting. So if both the lines are intersecting, then you have to use the same formula to find the shortest distance of the two lines, and the answer will be 0. That time you are going to show that these two lines are intersecting. So then they ask you like this, show that the two lines are intersecting. Or they will ask you find the shortest distance. Both the meanings and both the time you are using same formula. Okay, same formula you will use, but only for shortest distance you will get some answer, and in intersecting you won't get any answer. Answer will be 0. Then you will say that both the lines are intersecting. There is no distance between two lines. Therefore, both are intersecting. Understood? And for 4 marks, it will be a foot of the perpendicular. They will ask you. These examples are very, very important. At least do some few important examples from line and plane. Means they frequently ask foot of the perpendicular and distance between two lines. These type of examples asked again and again. Shortest distance, it is asked for 4 marks also, depending on the size of the equations, how it is given. Sometimes you need to convert it into vector form, or sometimes it will be in Cartesian form. So depending on the example. Okay. So these are line and plane. Then after that, next chapter. Okay. Now, हे काय दिसत नाही मला इथे. हा. हा. 1 minute, students. Differentiation. Differentiation chapter. Students, it is not visible clearly. Just note it down. It is a differentiation. Okay. So differentiation, it is 9 marks here. And after that, applications of derivatives. Means both are connected, derivatives, and after that it's applications only. So you can see 9 marks and 9 marks. So it is 18 marks in this way. Okay. So here this 4 marks you can see it is again it is other chapters. It is here. Just don't consider this one. Maximize, minimize. We will discuss it afterwards. Here you can see maxima, minima in this way. So only for that part, here it is 4 marks, 2 plus 2 it is given. Only maximize, minimize examples may be asked for 4 marks in this way. That is the meaning. Okay. So here you can see this 9 marks means it is, you can split it in this way, 3 plus 3, 2 plus 1, or it is 3 plus 6 here, 2 plus 4 in this way. So this chapter is very, very important because it is having more marks. So you cannot leave it as an option. You have to do it, both the chapters. Both are connected also, and derivatives and its application in this way. Okay. So 9 plus 9, 18 marks. So you can see the differentiation means already it is taken in the class also, and small differentiation examples, chain rule using also sometimes. So they will give you small examples for 1 mark. And for 2 marks, differentiation will be there, maybe using the parametric form like that. So they will give x equal to cos theta, y equal to sin theta. Then you have to find the dy by d theta. Means 2 different equations will be there. That is a parametric form. So that type of examples will be there for 2 marks. And again, here 2 marks for MCQ and 2 marks for this. Again, logarithmic form, parametric form, inverse form. There are different forms are there. Exponential form. Those examples will be there for 2 marks. Examples will be very, very small. Even parametric is there. That is also simple sentence they will give. Simple 2 equations will be there. For 3 marks, little bit difficult examples from the same form only. Parametric form again, logarithmic form and exponential form. Inverse also. Okay. But the examples are little bit more complicated as compared with these 2 marks. Similarly, for 4 marks, it is differentiation one function with respect to another function will be there. Okay. So they will ask you differentiating one function with respect to another function. That is the last exercise is there now. From that, some prove that examples are there and double integration, 2 times integration. I have not written here, but it is there. Okay. 2 times integration means sometimes you have to find d square y by dx square. And in that also prove that examples are there, especially 100, some number is there. You can just remember in that exercise. So those type of examples, or y square or y2 in this way, they will ask minus dy minus y1, 2y1 like that equal to in this way, prove that type of examples. You just go through that exercise, you will come to know that it is the last exercise, which are double integration, 2 times differentiation. Okay. And in application, again, increasing and decreasing function, small example, they will ask finding the tangent, equation of tangent, slope and normal of the tangent, again, increasing displacement, velocity. These type of examples are there for 2 marks. And for 3 marks, word problems will be there. So you can see the last exercise, word problems are there. Maxima, minima, 4 marks normally. Maxima, minima, big examples will be there. So which is the last exercise. Okay. So this is, you are not going to leave this chapter. You have to do this. It is important because carrying 18 marks. Now next, indefinite integration, again definite integration, application of definite integration. You can see these 3 chapters are connected. So therefore it is 10 plus 6, 16 plus 4 means integration itself is carrying 20 marks. Okay. So therefore all are connected and okay, I was talking about, am I audible, students? Talking about the integration. Here integration 10 marks, it is especially it is divided into 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Either it is 4 plus 4 plus 2 also. In this way it is divided 10 marks. So 1 marks means simple integration examples will be there. Vector slide you want to see once again. Okay, I will show you. Here, this one. Take the screenshot of this. Okay, okay. We'll move to the next one. Now integration, I was talking about simple integration examples. You can see the first substitution method and all those simple examples are there now. Will be asked for 1 mark. And integration 2 marks examples will be there. So you can see in the model question paper also I have given some simple examples are there. So you can see simple examples here. So for B section, so you can see cos square x only. So here e raised to x 1 plus x cos x e raised to x. So here x e raised to, you are going to take a substitution for that. So in this way, substitution method, they will ask for integration. These are the type of examples they ask. So now in integration, and after that Simple substitution also they will ask for 3 marks. Normally 3 marks, the substitution method is there and one more method is there now. So 1 upon sin x plus cos x, that time tan x by 2 equal to t you take. That type of examples for 3 marks. And even partial fraction also they will ask. I have not written here, but partial fraction will be there. Sometimes they will ask that also. Partial fraction means 1 upon x square plus 2x plus 3 or something x plus 2 into x plus 5. So they in that also substitution is there. 3 marks. And 4 marks normally theorems will be there. So theorem, it is a biparts theorem is important. Now I am telling you the next theorem, note it down. Biparts theorem is important. Written biparts theorem. And with that normally they ask it for, previously it is used to ask it for 4 marks, but now it is, they ask it for 3 marks. Sometimes they ask it for 4 marks. At that time they will add one small question with that, which is 1 mark question. So, but if you don't know the theorem, then you can solve that 1 mark question, then you will get 1 mark. Okay, don't leave anything if you know, just solve it. Okay. So extra also you can solve. While solving the extra, they will consider if you have written extra after that previously, if your mistake is there, they will consider whichever is correct, that they will give that only. For that only you will get marks. Don't worry about that. Therefore, if you know something, then solve it. And after that, it is a definite integration. Again, it is all the types are same only. But here in definite integration, normally there are 7. Integration by parts, that theorem is there. Integration by parts theorem. Okay. So now here in definite integration, again, all the properties, if the first and second, third property, there are very small properties are there now. So they will be asked for 2 marks. And third, last 2, 7 property, normally they won't ask, but still you do all the properties, practice it. Again, those are considered as theorems only, but small theorems. So for 3 marks, for 4 marks, they will ask you. I will show you property theorem is here. In 3 marks, how they ask, this is a property theorem. Here, this is asked for 4 marks. It is a big last property it is. Therefore, it is asked for 4 marks. You can see. Last properties are bigger one. 6th and 7th, like that, 5th, 6th, 7th, they will be asked for 3 and 4 marks. So this is the example. And this is also in integration. This is a proof that, like, for example, it is. These are also very, very important. X square minus a square. Sometimes they will ask you a square minus x square is there. X square plus a square is there. Sometimes without root also there. All those formulas will be asked as a theorem only. You can see here. So normally we also give in terminal exam also it was there. Every time in the exam we give these examples. Okay. So therefore, very, very important theorems these are. Okay. Definite integration theorems. And sometimes the examples which are, you can see taking I, and every time you will get pi by 4 answer. So those examples will be asked. Means using the property, you are going to, for example, fx equal to f of a minus x. 0 to a is the upper and lower limit. That time, so you will convert sin x and cos x will be there. No, most of the time it will be cancelled. And you will get 1 answer, and after that you will substitute upper and lower limit, that type of examples. You will see that most of the time the answer will be pi by 4. In that exercise, you will come to know that when you solve. So those will be there for 3 marks. I have not written here, but those are important examples. Okay. Now applications of integration, I already told you that there is only one exercise. So you can see that the simple examples are also there, which will be asked for 2 plus 2 combination or 3 plus 4. And if for 4 marks, it is asked as if 2 parabolas they give, and they will ask you to find the area between 2 parabolas, like that. Okay. Now the last one is differential equation. So here again 8 marks here, 2 plus 2 plus 4, 1 plus 3 plus 4. In this way the combination will be there. So for 1 marks they will ask order and degree. Okay, very simple examples they will ask. And for 2 marks also, little bit bigger examples, means difficult examples in order and degree, general solution will be there. And formula, formation of differential equation, finding the solution, that type of examples will be there in differential equation. And 2 marks, order and degree, again, general solution is there, and small variable separable examples will be there for 2 marks. And 3 marks again, variable separable type and homogeneous type of examples are there. I have not written here, but homogeneous examples and linear examples will be asked. 4 marks again, homogeneous, linear, all those means complicated examples are there now in differential equation, that will be there. And differential equation application is there. So that is again word problem. Rate of change of decay, that type of examples will be asked for 4 marks only. Okay. So now probability distribution is a very small chapter, 5 marks, and binomial distribution again 5 marks. So the combination will be 4 plus 1, 3 plus 2. Okay, here also again 4 plus 1 and 3 plus 2. Okay. So again here finding the value of k will be there, variance, distribution of variance and ex will be there. Very simple examples are there. Variance, standard deviation and expected value, ex will be there. And word problems, small word problems will be there for 2 marks and for 3 marks. So you can see 4 marks also word problems will be there. Now last one is binomial distribution, again finding variance, expected value. These type of examples, finding P by Q, again word problems for binomial distribution. So now all the details it is discussed already, and you just take the screenshot of all these. So if you want to hold any sheet, I am going to hold for you. Okay. So I am going to tell you students the difficulty level, how the question paper is formed. Normally they ask you 30 marks of easy questions will be there. For 30 marks, easy questions, because passing is the main target of the board, HSC board. That is why I am telling you. And 50 marks, they will ask you average questions normally. And last 20 marks for intelligent students for them. So high order thinking questions will be there. That is only for 20 marks. For these questions, you can attempt easily 50 marks questions also average, I am telling you, and 30 marks also you can score. Means still 80 marks easily you can score in mathematics. Remaining 20 marks only for hard work is required. Otherwise, you go through all these chapters very easily. And all the best, students. Any doubts? Sorry. Okay, I have finished it. So if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm going to end the meeting.
Hey, no, don't end. I'll join.
I'm to close. Students, you want to take any screenshot or shall I stop the sharing? Okay, I have stopped it now. So me to continue.
Hello everyone, am I audible to you? Hello, am I audible to you? You can unmute yourself and let me know. Hello everyone, am I audible to you? Please let me know.
Yes.
Okay. So this is our last session where we'll discuss about our compulsory subject, that is English. Is the screen visible to you? Is it visible to you? I hope it's visible to you. So ours is 80-20 pattern, as you know that 80 marks written and 20 marks for the orals. So for 80 marks, generally you have given your last year exam, but here it is that you have to read your textbook very carefully. Okay. You have 8 lessons, that is from prose section. For past 2 years, 2 lessons were not there, but this year you have entire all 8 lessons are there and even 8 poems are there. Along with that, certain writing skills are given to you like summary writing, mind mapping, statement of purpose, drafting a virtual message, and group discussion. Note making is given to you, but it is not included in your question paper. So there is no need to work on it, even though it is given in the textbook. Then from the 4th genre, that is history of novel, you have history of novel. Then 4.2 to serve with love, around the world in 80 days, and the sign of hope. So the bifurcation of the marks are like for prose 34 marks are there, for poetry 14 marks are there, writing skills for 14 marks, and novel for 16 marks. So total 18 marks. Sorry, writing skills for 16 marks and novel, that is for 16 marks. So the first question, which is based on scene extract, which is for 12 marks. Extract will be given from any of the lesson. Around 300 words will be given over there. So there are 6 activities are there. First activity, that is about global understanding, which is based on overall understanding of the extract, what the message is given over there, theme or just etc. It's a factual question. So generally it will be asked in the form of true or false, correct the statement, or correct the reason, complete the statement, or fill in the blanks, sequencing, etc. So whatever the activity is given to you, you have to write in the given format. Now, basically here, if it is for true and false, mostly for the physics, chemistry, or the rest of the subject like accounts and even SPOC, if it is objective, even though you'll write the answer, you'll get the marks. Whereas in English paper, you have to rewrite the statement. If you write true and false only, the answer, you won't get the marks. Many a times the question is given, read the following statement and correct the false statement. So half mark will be given whether the statement is true or false, and half mark for writing the correct answer. So read the question very carefully, and accordingly you have to write the true and false. So you have to rewrite the statement for all these conditions. For fill in the blanks, complete the statement, underline the answer over there. Next, and this activity is for 2 marks. So no need to write all these questions like A1, global understanding and all, just you'll write the question over there. Next, second activity, that is A2. It's complex factual, that facts are scattered in the extract. Whereas in the first question, in one sentence or in a one line, you'll get the answer. If you'll find out the answer, you'll get in one line. Whereas for the second, you have to find out from the extract. So many a times the questions are like web diagram is given to you, flow chart is given to you, or a table is given to you, or match the following, complete the statement, select the alternative. So if the diagram is given to you, you have to draw the same diagram. Half mark is for the presentation. And then it is expected in the web diagram and flow chart that you have to write the answer in points only, not in sentences. So you have to draw the table the way it is given to you. You have to draw the wave diagram the way it is given to you. Next is third activity, that is inference or interpretive activity, where you have to give reason. Generally, this question is for 2 marks. So it is expected that you have to give the answer within 50 words. 50 words, not more than half page. A4 is a personal response type question, where your answer is expected. What is your opinion? Again, it is word limit is 50 words. So if it is asked, do you agree with it? Don't write yes or no. That won't give you marks. You have to justify that statement. So you have to write in a points, in a paragraph. Now, most of the time we have seen that the students are underlining the facts in the answer, which is not expected in English paper. Don't A4 answer because it is expected in a paragraph. So write in a paragraph. A5 activity, that is do as directed. 2 questions based on the extract will be given to you. Here, this year onwards, you'll get the options of the answers. Now you have to select the correct option, but don't write that D option or A option. You have to rewrite the statement. Even though the option is correct and you have mentioned only A, B, C, D, whatever it is, you won't get the marks. You have to rewrite that statement again. For vocabulary, various things will be given to you like antonyms, synonyms, code mixing. What is code mixing, children? Or compound words, abbreviations, acronyms, homograph, homonym. What is code mixing? You can unmute yourself and give me the answer. What is code mixing? Yes, Mayur? Would you like to give the answer? Code mixing, when the regional words are used in English language. For example, the first lesson, an astrologer's day, there the Jutka, Kauri, all these are the words which are used as a code mixing. So you have to know all these terms, and for that, reading textbook is essential. You have to read it at least 4 to 5 times before the exam. Then Question number first B, which is based on the grammar. 3 questions will be given. Grammar conditions, whichever we have covered in 11th and 12th, that will be there. But these 3 especially questions will be based on non-textual grammar. B2 activities, spot the error. Sentence will be given to you, whether it is grammatically incorrect or sometimes some. And whatever the change you have made, whether it is the preposition or any article and all, just underline that. You have to rewrite. Don't just mention it. And even here, it is not expected that you have to write in a paragraph. Write that statement, underline whatever the fact you are going to change and the correct statement. That's it. So this is about first question. Is it clear to you? So first question total, it's for 16 marks, 12 marks A, that is first A, and first B for 4 marks. So is this clear to you? You can give the reactions. Yes. Next is question number 2nd A. It will be unseen extract. Questions will be similar like first A. That is 6 activities will be given to you. First is global understanding. That is factual question. Second is complex factual. A3 again interpretive or analytical question. A4 personal response type question. A5 do as directed, 2 grammar questions, and A6 vocabulary. So this is same like first A. Now most important thing is that you have to start new question on a new page. So first A, then first B on a new page. Second A, you'll start it on a new page. So this is unseen extract. So second B, that is summary writing, which is based on the given extract. You have to write the summary of the above extract with a suitable title with the help of the given points. Points will be given to you, but even though the points are given to you, it is expected in a paragraph. So approximately 1/3 of given extract, you have to write the summary. There is 1 mark for the title and presentation. So obviously the title has to come above the extract. This question you have to write on a new page because 1 mark is for the presentation. So if you'll write it on the previous page and if you'll continue on the next page, you won't get that mark of presentation. So for that, write it on a new page, give the suitable title to that. It has to be apt to that. And then presentation means you have to write in a paragraph in your own words. So 1 mark is for covering essential points and 1 mark is for language, style and grammar. Then question number 2nd C, that is mind mapping. It's a next version of note making. We can say that last year you did the note making and this year many of you have tried doing mind mapping, but 3 marks are there. So obviously 1 mark is for the presentation. So what comes in presentation, it has to be clear. At a glance, you should get an idea what is it about. So you can use a horizontal, vertical page, or you can use both the pages because if it is clear, you'll get full marks. Now there is no restriction like note making that you have. It has to be symmetrical. It has to be in given format. Not at all. The freedom is given to you. You can use various templates for that, but it has to be clear. There should be logical flow of ideas, thoughts, and concept. And it has to be written in points, not in sentences, not in terms. So that question is for 3 marks. Second question, total, that is second A, B, and C for 18 marks. So this is the example of note making. It has to be clear. If it is asked, what are your goals for next year, 2023 or 2022? So you can tell about your career, fun, mind, family and friends, about money and about health. So all these points you have to write. You can develop it at least in 3 layers like 2022. So the next layer is about career, fun, family, friends, and then the next layer. So at least in 3 layers, you have to draw the mind map. Now here color pens are not allowed. I have taken this example from Nate. So to make it attractive, colors are used, but in the exam, you're not supposed to use the color pens. You can use pencil to draw the lines and all, but give in points. So for this, you can use last page as a rough page where you can jot down the points and use entire paper. So horizontal, vertical, or both the pages you can use. If it is clear, then definitely you'll get 1 mark of the presentation. And there are chances to get full marks in this question. Next comes the second section, that is poetry. Now you have 8 poems, and out of that 2 poems will be there, one for the appreciation and one for the activity. So the first one, third A, that extract will be given to you for 5 activities, and that is scene extract. So 5 questions will be given to you. The first one is global understanding, factual question will be there. You have to write the answers. Then second one will be complex factual, interpretive question will be there. Third one is interpretation, or it is about the poetic devices, that is about figures of speech, or maybe the chart will be given to you to write the rhyming scheme, rhyming words, any kind of thing will be given to you. Here also you'll get one personal response type question. And the last one is the poetic creativity. For that, few words will be given to you, or maybe they'll give you the figures of speech like simile, and use the simile and compose 4 lines of your own, or 1 line will be given to you and then you have to compose 4 lines, 3 rest of the lines. So any condition will be given to you. Maybe they'll ask you compose a poem in a blank verse, free verse, or a rhyming scheme. So you should know what is blank verse, what is free verse, which poem is in which verse. Basically for the poetic, that is A3 activity, for poetic devices and all, just go through all the poems. Nothing will come out of the textbook. So go through the textbook, whatever the terms and whatever the figures of speech given over there, you have to learn that, because some of the poems are having onomatopoeia, or some of them are having the paradox and all. So go through it. Definitely if you write everything, this is the scoring question where you'll get full marks. If that is third B is for the appreciation. So out of 8, 2 poems will be given to you for the appreciation. It will come for 4 marks. So it is expected that you have to write in a paragraphs, points. Maybe they'll give you points, or maybe you can refer it. Already you have done the practice of it, or you can refer your textbook where it is expected that you have to write in the points. For example, title, theme, poetic devices, your opinion, and all those things are given to you. So it is expected that you have to start it on a new page. Write for each point, write in a paragraph. For example, you as a title, you have to give the name of the poem. Then who is the poet? What is the theme of that? It is given in the introduction of each and every poem. You can repeat that. Then for the theme, write the summary of the poem. It is not expected entire appreciation as the summary of the poem. Only in a paragraph you have to write the theme of the poem. Then the next one paragraph will be about the poetic device, style, language and all. So what kind of tone is used, whether the language is simple, or what prominent figures of speech are used over there, in what era it is written, what impact is there, everything you can mention in that paragraph. The last one is about your opinion. That is important, because first impression might be different before reading the poem, or when you had listened it for the first time. And after learning that poem, you have come to the conclusion. So you may write your opinion over that. So entire thing, you can prepare it in well advance. That is, these are 8 poems are there. So I'll suggest that go through all the poems. Now for the appreciation, some of the poems are very short, like Song of the Open Road, or Indian Weavers, where 3 extracts are there. Whereas Inchcape Rock is having 17 stanzas. So maybe some of the stanzas will be given to you. So you should know what is given in that stanza, and that only you have to write it over there. That is at least figures of speech, whatever is given, you are going to write. You'll mention accordingly whatever is given to you. Otherwise, if you write the entire summary, that is not appropriate to that. So go through the poems, She Walks in Beauty, and the last poem, everything you have to do it. So entire third question is for 14 marks. Now next is most important question, that is writing skills. By this time, I hope that you have
Excuse me,
selected
ma'am.
options. Now here you have to select the options according to the time, because the time management is the most important thing while writing paper. Within 3 hours, you have to cover the paper, and there are many more things where you have to look at the format, what is expected over here. So the first question, 4A, 3 options will be given to you: drafting virtual message, or statement of purpose, or group discussion. So what is expected in a drafting virtual message? Within 50 words, you have to write the message. So for example, today we are going to, that is, we have conducted for 3 days this paper discussion session. So if you want to give this message to your friend, definitely you'll write that paper discussion session and the timings and the details. You will not write that who is going to conduct and how it is going to be. We are not interested in long messages. So here it is important for the virtual message that you have to write the date and time. Date, for example, today's is 22nd Jan. So it has to be written in ordinals. Ordinals 22nd. It should not be 22/12/22. You have to write 22nd January, and then timing, because many a times you might have done the question in terminal where it is asked that you have to attend a session where someone will pick you at 6:30 p.m. So the timing of the message has to be written before 5 p.m. It should not be 6 p.m. or 6:15 and all, because whoever is reading that, he has to be prepared for that. So accordingly, you have to write the time slot. Now, no need to write the dear Renu and dear Manu, whoever is you are addressing, because this is informal, where you'll write the name of the person whom you are addressing. And in short, here it is for 4 marks. So 1 mark is for the presentation. What comes in presentation? You'll write all the writing skills on a new page. This is the writing skill virtual message, where minimum words you have to write, and you'll get full marks. How? That's if you'll do the presentation outline, if you'll write the date and the time that comes under the presentation. Then in minimum words, you have to write that message, where we'll check whether you are able to use compound and complex sentences, whether you are able to use the coordinating conjunctions. Make it short. So this is about drafting virtual message. The options, it is up to you whether you want to opt for a virtual message or statement of purpose or group discussion. So for virtual message, only 50 words. 50 words, hardly 3 to 4 lines, not more than that. For statement of purpose, word limit is 150 words. 150 words, that means you have to write 1 full page and the next page. So here you'll write what's the purpose of it. You have to do your SWOT analysis, because here you are going to put forth what qualities you have, what you have done till 10th or till 12th standard. What are your areas of interest? What is the purpose of enrolling for this course? Everything you have to mention in different paragraphs. So it is expected into 150 words. And group discussion, again, if you go through the textbook, group discussion has to be written in a dialogue form. But don't write dialogues between the friends, because there is a coordinator who will start the dialogue. At the end, also he'll ask to conclude that. So if you are going to opt this question, then you have to write in a dialogue form, which is expected again 1 full page, and you can extend little bit on next page. And another thing is that go through the textbook where the format is given to you. So choice is yours. You can opt anything, but here I'll suggest, if you want, better you practice for virtual message. Then Question number 4B, email writing, report writing, or interview. Now for email writing, it's like letter writing, everything towards the left. Here you have to write to CC and BCC. Now to whom you are writing, whether it is all are not informal emails, all are formal, whether it is leave application to the principal ma'am, or if you want to investigate anything, or if you want to order something for the college or your organization, then if it is asked to write, keep BCC, then you have to write to whom you are keeping in BCC and CC. Everything you have to write. Then salutation is expected. Salutation, dear sir, comma, that's it. Write the email in 3 different paragraphs. First will be the introduction. Here you have to mention the subject too. And then what is the purpose of writing email in detail, the second paragraph. And the third one, that is concluding paragraph with complimentary clause. If you are going to add something, that is enclosure, you'll mention it over there. Please find the attachment over there for any if you have asked for any books and all, or if it is about itinerary, whatever you are going to mention over there, that you have to write. Then complimentary clause, thanking you or thank you. Signature is needed, but signature it is not expected as a sign. You have to write XYZ, ABC, any initials. Nowhere in the paper you'll write college name, Dr. Kalmadi Shamrao Junior College, or your name. Even though you are going to address it to the principal, you can write ABC, XYZ, college and all. So all these things are essential for email writing. 1 page is enough. For report writing, outline is must. Report writing heading, it has to be headline. It has to be given in capital or bold letters, which is to be followed by deadline. So again, deadline, there is a format. Name of the place will come first and then the date. For example, recently we had celebrated certain occasions. So if we are going to write, you'll give the heading and then the deadline, like Pune, today's date. Either you write January 22nd or January 22 or 22nd January. If it is ordinals, then you have to write 22nd January, comma, 2022. Or if it is like January 22, comma, 2022. Then comes, you have to write report writing in 3 paragraphs. The first one will be introduction. If you'll ask the WH questions to the headline, you'll get the answer, that where the program was conducted, who was the chief guest, what exactly had happened and all. If you'll ask all these WH questions, you will get the introduction. So within 3 to 4 sentences, you have to write the introduction. Then in detail, write how it was conducted, the event it was conducted. And then the last one is concluding paragraph. If you have any suggestions, you can write that. If you have observed any thing that you have to mention, and then outline is must. Here you may write the name of the reporter. It is optional. That won't give you marks as such. And for interview, now here both the questions are scoring, email writing and interview question also. For interview question, board will give you format. Table will be given to you. And it is expected that you have to write in that format only. All questions should be open-ended WH question. You shouldn't ask, do you agree with it? Yes, no type questions are not expected over here. So ask WH questions, draw the table. So write it on a new page. Ask sensible questions generally, interview questions. Different categories are there, like sports person, politician, or maybe the person from famous personality and all. And few questions are very similar. That is, what is your, who was your role model, or what message would you like to give? So if you prepare it well, here answers are not expected. Some students, they have written in a dialogue form. If you write in a dialogue form, you'll get 0 marks. Only questions are expected, and write only sensible, open-ended WH questions. WH questions, what, when, how, where, and all. Then question number 4C, speech writing, comparing, expansion of ideas. These three options are given to you. So what is expected in speech writing topic will be given to you. So there is out of 4 marks for all writing skills, 1 mark is for the presentation. So it has to be written in 120 to 150 words. So the first 1 mark is for presentation, 1 mark is for proper beginning and ending. So what is expected in beginning? That is proper address to the audience. That dignitary is on the dais. If you are going to write that, correct spelling of dais. Or if you are going to write respected principal, teachers, and friends. So here you have to maintain the hierarchy. You're not supposed to write respected teachers, principal, and then friends, and correct spelling of principal, because you are writing principal in science, PLE, and same it is repeated over here. So that hierarchy you have to maintain, that chief guest, then principal, then teachers, and then student. So in an introductory paragraph, you'll greet the audience and you'll write about your topic. Then within 2-3 paragraphs, you will write about that topic. And the last is conclusion, where you'll conclude the entire speech and you'll thank the audience for patiently lending their ear or patiently listening you, because 1 mark is for the proper beginning and ending, and 2 marks are there for language, style, and grammar, and the way you have developed the thought. So if you'll ask WH question to that topic, definitely you'll develop your idea, and then you have to conclude that. The next is comparing whatever the event is given to you, the entire session from welcoming guests till the vote of thanks, everything you have to write in sequence. So all the details, whether you are going to greet the audience and you'll ask the chief guest to give the speech, whatever the programs there will be conducted, everything you will mention in the comparing. An expansion of ideas, the proverb or the idiom will be given to you, and you have to write in a 3 paragraphs. So what is expected? The first is introductory paragraph. Second one, where you'll give in details about that proverb. That is, either you can give the similar examples, you can give your own experience, or you can give an anecdote. And in 3rd paragraph, you'll conclude that entire thing with similar proverb. But it is expected in 120 words. So speech writing, you can extend little bit on next page. Comparing also 150 words and all, whereas expansion of ideas within 1 page only. Stick to that word limit. And the last one is review, blog, or appeal. Now here review, either a review of a book or a film or a documentary or any video you have seen online. So what is expected in the review? That if it is a book review, write the title as the name of the book. That entire review is not expected, the summary of the book. That who is the author and the title of the book, that will come in the first paragraph and the gist of it. Then why do you like it? If you want to criticize that, you can criticize the characters over there. Your opinion about that. That why do you want to recommend it to the others? That also you have to write. If it is about any film review, it is asked. It is not any expected any Hindi movie. Don't write about any famous movie. Generally, documentaries or the animated movies and all, and sensible movies you have to write. So write about the characters, write about the theme, write about the effect, whether a technical effect and all, any element of the movie and all, whatever you like. And you can criticize that also. Why do you want to recommend that? So that also you have to write in the review. So word limit is 120 words till 150 words, 1 full page, or little bit you can extend. Blog writing. If you are going to write the blog writing, then title has to be bold or capital. It has to be written in paragraphs, not in 1 paragraph. Children, don't write report, statement of purpose, speech writing, review and blog in entire one paragraph. Don't start it from very first line till the last line. You have to make short paragraphs for that. So for a blog, you have to write in a different paragraphs. Outline is must. So entire blog you have to complete in one page itself. And appeal writing, this is the scoring one and the easiest one, where you can use different fonts, you can use different captions, venue and all, everything you have to mention, but the outline is must. That is the part of the presentation. So here are few examples of appeal. This is about the blood donation camp. So whatever is the title, you can use different fonts, but don't use the color paints and all. You can use pencil, you can draw the pictures, but pictures won't give you marks. Don't draw too many pictures. One or two, that is okay, but you can use captions, variety of things, the way you'll write. It has to be catchy. So if it is about the blood donation camp, what's the need of it? So where you are going to hold it? So all these things you have to mention, the time. Many a times you have to mention the phone number also, so you can write 9xxxx and the last one any digit, or all 10x. That also you can do that. So this is about say no to alcohol. Minimum words, but it has to be catchy. Outline is must for that. So these are the two examples. Everything we have shared with you in our PDF, you have to do the practice. And the next is most important part of the paper, where it is for 16 marks, but you don't get any extract for it. So this is from the history of novel. So complete the activities given below as per the instruction. That is the first question, which is based on the history of novel. Activities may be true or false. MCQs, match the following chronological order also, fill in the blanks, true or false, elements of novel. So whatever is given to you according to the demand, that is, if it is true and false, rewrite a statement. If it is match the columns, don't write A, 1, B, 2, C. Even though it is correct, you'll get 0 marks. Write the proper correct answer. Fill in the blanks. Don't write only answer. Complete statement is expected. And for this, there is no exception. You have to read the entire textbook. So 5A, that is based on 4.1. 5B, what is the name of the lesson? To serve with love. 2 questions will be given. That is describe, explain, compare, contrast, name, anything. That is any element of novel will be asked. Either characters, any theme, or the background and all. And then you have to write in 50 words only. 50 words, not more than half page. Don't write in a points, write in a paragraph. So this is on to serve with love. Question number 5C, that is based on, again, around the world in 80 days. So 2 questions will be given to you. Same kind of questions like anything. Or here they may give you the table, or they'll ask you to write certain terms, or they may ask you like Denham and any other character, compare and contrast. So if it is for comparing and contrast, at least minimum 4 points, half marks for each point. And question number 5D, which is based on the last novel. So again, 2 questions will be given to you. So entire, that is 80 marks paper, you have to cover it in 3 hours. So this is about the 80 marks, sign of 4. Okay. So along with that, we have orals, that is for 20 marks, listening skills for 10 marks, and speaking skill for 10. So what will be there in listening skills? 5 marks will be there for the dictation of words. So here we take the words from the textbook and teacher will read out any short poem, short story, anecdote and all. Questions will be written on the board and you have to write the answers of those questions. So that is entirely based on your listening skill, develop your listening skill. And for speaking skill, impromptu topics will be given to you. Maybe exam, maybe online session, any topic will be given to you, mirror, mobile and all. And at least you should be able to speak on that given topic. So you'll get the practice of it during the prelim examination. But the thing is that you have to read the textbook very carefully. Okay, so is this clear to you? Any doubt? Do you have any doubt? Yes. Do you have any doubt? Feel free to ask. Yes, Nidhi, Allah. Or you can write it. So refer our Telegram channel. We have shared all the PPTs of poems and novels over there. Even the grammar things, writing skills are shared over there. Refer that and do the practice. Yes. Session 1 and slides. Okay. This is what given in your textbook. We'll get it in index. That 8 lessons and 8 poems. Anything else? Yes, Sumit, what's the doubt you have? You can unmute yourself.
Ma'am, can you please share section 1 and 2 of question paper?
Question paper. That are you asking about the question first and second?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. This is the first question.